And tell the children we went to IHOP, right?
I don't even know every
Taking a little break from the MRI to the results. Reading of the results. Is that how you put it? Right? Okay, I've been trying to make this video. It's been so windy outside that it's taken, the wind's taken over the video. So I'm in my car now. I had the MRI yesterday. We had a 9 o'clock appointment. I didn't know if I was supposed to not eat or drink anything, but I didn't eat or drink anything before we left. I had the MRI done at the UHC hospital. After I registered, and they took me back for the MRI. They didn't ask me to disrobe. They just asked me if I had any metal objects in my body or on my clothing. They took me back to where the MRI machine was at. Gave me some earplugs. They told me not to move, or not to put my hands in front of the antenna. They laid a plastic piece from like my mid, like just below my belly button to my mid thigh. And I asked them if they're just focusing on the left hip or both. And she said, the technician said they will be taking pictures of both sides. So everything between one hip and the other hip through the pelvis. Well, I laid there on that machine. They said it would take about 12 minutes. I laid there on that machine, flat on my back, and I wasn't there not even a minute before my back started hurting me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do this for 12 minutes. If you've ever had an MRI done, it makes a lot of noise. That's why you get the earplugs. It goes like pow, 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 pow. Kind of does that for a while, and then it gets quiet, and then it starts moving again, and it will go pow, 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 pow again. It seemed like it did that about three, 4 times. Maybe every time it moved, it did it for 2 or 3 minutes, something like that, maybe about 3 minutes. The whole process, once I got there, got signed in, registered, and the waiting, and getting back to the machine, and having the test done, the whole thing took about 30 to 40 minutes, something like that. My appointment was at 9. We got there at 10 till 9, and we were done at, I think it was probably 20 till 10. Since I hadn't ate any breakfast, I didn't have any coffee, I didn't have any water, I didn't have any food, so Stacy and I went to IHOP and ate breakfast. Afterwards, we went over to get the MRI read, got registered. Took a while. We went back, and it took a while for the doctor to come to us. The doctor's name was Carla Price, and he came in the room, and he asked me about, what was going on, and he looked at the pictures, asked me how long I've been having the pain, when did I first, what have I been taking, what have I done for it, that kind of stuff. He said, well, let's take a look at your MRI, and he starts going through there, and he put a diagnosis of what he thinks, because he said that the MRI, he can't see any. He said he's mild arthritis, but nothing significant. He said from the location of the pain and by the range of motion that I was having, because he had me to lay down, and he moved my legs here and there, and he had me to walk in the little, it's a very small room, but he had me to walk across the room a couple times, and he thinks that I might have what's called a labral tear, and it's a little tear of cartilage where the ball and the hip come together. The top of the femur goes into the hip bone, the pelvis. He said he can't see it. He can't see it on the MRI, but he said that's what he thinks of what's going on. That's what he thinks is causing my pain. Now, he said I had a few options. He said physical therapy. Do that for about a month. then come back and see him. Then he'll evaluate me again, see if it feels better, or if therapy's working, or he can do shots, like cortisone shots. Now, the shots only handle the pain, they don't handle the injury. And he said that another thing that they can do to look at the hip is a arthrogram. It involves putting a dye into the hip area, so it like makes the images more detailed from the dye. I told him I'd like to do physical therapy first, and I think physical therapy is what I could use. I think I've already mentioned it. Physical therapy I would be beneficial for me, because it would not only help my left hip, it would help my right hip, the muscles, strengthening the hips, the muscles, the core, that kind of stuff. I think I could use that. And he wrote me up a prescription for 6 weeks or six sessions, twice a week. And if I can, he said once I complete that, it'll be a month, because they've already made the 1 month appointment. Then I come back and we can discuss what to do next. And I did not ask him about surgery. I didn't know. I didn't think of it. He didn't mention it. And I just told him that I don't know about the shots, because the shots aren't going to fix it. It's just going to cover up the pain. And the shots, you don't know how long they're going to last. It may not work at all for me. It may last a month or 2 months. Now, Stacy had shots for her hip, and it lasted her for 30 days, or about a month. So it just depends on the person. It doesn't really matter. There's no exact time frame for it to work. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do therapy. I'm going to take my papers up to the therapy office. It's up here in Mannington. It's called Mountain State Physical Therapy. I'm going to go there and, like I said, have 6 sessions. I'll have about twice a week, and hopefully it'll work a little bit to strengthen my hips, maybe help it feel a little better, and then we'll go from there with the doctors. We'll see what the doctor says after that. But as he put it, he said, in a way, the MRI didn't show anything. In a way that's good, in a way that's bad, because it doesn't show anything bad, but it doesn't show us what's causing my pain. So, there's always more questions to ask the doctor after I leave. I always think of something else, like I should have asked this, I should have asked that. But I have to start writing my questions down before I go in, so that I can have everything down so I don't forget. And it's easy to forget once you get in there, and then he starts asking questions, and then I'm asking questions, and Stacy's asking questions, and I just had more questions once I got out of there, started driving home. I was like, oh, I should have asked this. But I'll ask the people up at the therapy office if they think that, if they know anything about labral tear. So if that's it, and what do they think is good for, and should I still run or should I not run? Should I just do the physical therapy and halt my activity, or can I still do my activities and still get the benefits of the physical therapy? So that's where things are at now. That's what my appointment was about, my MRI, and I'm satisfied with it. At least I'm going to get something started to help me feel better with the pain. And I asked him about the pain in the lower groin, and he said yes, it could possibly be just referred pain from the hip that's showing up there as I'm running because of the tear. So unless there's something more definite on the MRI, we're going to go with the physical therapy. And if things get worse, then I'll definitely go, make an appointment and go back. But that's about it. That's my update for the MRI. thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you've ever had an MRI, or if you're watching this because you've had a labral tear, or you think you have one. Let me know tell me what your symptoms are. Mine is, you know, the hip pain, the groin pain. When I'm running, when I'm sitting, I'm fine. And I mean, when I stop running, I'm fine. When I'm walking around or whatever, but it gets worse when I'm running, and when I stop running, it feels better. So let me know if you're watching this because you think you have one, or you have one. Tell me what your symptoms or details are. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.